Well, hello, Mark Hogg. Thank you
Hey,
for joining
Rachel.
me for this. And we should, full disclosure up front, we've known each other for many, many years, right?
Yes, I knew you a long time ago, and you knew me a long time ago. And we started telling stories together then. And gosh, it's been wonderful. Now to do it more, I love our relationship and how it's just kind of intertwined over the years.
It really has.
Um,
When I was at HAS and you were a youth pastor, that's how far
mhm,
back we go.
that's right.
So to
Well, and
get,
we did a story where the youth group was going to Booger Holler, Tennessee. Uh, Crazy,
I
crazy.
know it, but now you go places and the technology's in advanced and I know that going by Zoom has transformed the way you do business with WaterStep.
Sure.
Tell us, in case people aren't familiar with WaterStep, what year you
Mhm.
got started and what it is you do.
Right. So WaterStep started in 1995. We're about to start our 27th year. We're pretty excited about that. We work in the developing world in over 60 countries, but we also work in disasters. And our goal is to provide safe water, sanitation, and health solutions. We do this with very simple equipment. We do this with some very strong training and follow-up. Everything's sustainable. And our goal is for you and I, Rachel, or anybody that can't even read or write, to be able to operate equipment to save lives in their own community. It's been amazing. We have just crossed the impact. I think since 2006, we've impacted over 5 million people this month, which is great out in the world, and we're have such great friendships and partnerships. We call them field consultants, folks that have their own lives, but they're all about making the regions that they live in better. It's just an amazing thing, and it's very broad, Rachel, and very diverse. I couldn't have dreamt to be a part of something like this.
It really is amazing. And what you might do is send the chlorination systems out. Then you teach people in those communities, in those developing countries, how to
Right.
do that. It's life
Exactly.
changing for them, but then they have the tools to be the change
Right.
in their community.
Right. And a lot of people say, well, what kind of lifespan do the tools have? What kind of maintenance is there? There's very little maintenance. Keeping it clean is critical and rinsed out. But to be honest with you, some of the equipment, we don't know how long it lasts. It's been out in the field 15 years plus. There's nothing to break. So that's been a really cool part of the dynamic, is the sustainable structure of the simple tools that we make.
You also go into disasters. You were there in Haiti, different places like that. There were a couple figures, though, on your website that every time I read them, I am just
Yeah.
absolutely blown away by them. How many
Yeah.
people lack access to safe and clean water? It's
Right.
staggering.
It's unbelievable. So just water alone, it's over 700 million. It's well over almost 2 billion, I think, water when you combine that with access to sanitation. If you crashed a 747 to the ground every day and every night, every 30 minutes, just constantly, that would be the number of people that die of waterborne illness. And the fact of the matter, that's terrible, but the fact of the matter is we can do something about it, and anybody can. And that's been the wonder that Louisville has brought to the table with WaterStep, is we have a community people that not only have helped to design equipment, but we manufacture the equipment here, we send it out here, we train from here. All of that dynamic has been exciting and has really embraced the history that we have with water here in Louisville. So when you look at those figures, they are staggering and scary and horrible. They are lowering as time goes on in the last 10 years. That's been affirming that we're doing the right thing. We're a part of all those people out in the world trying to solve this problem, and we can solve the problem.
I know that's what makes it where you're going, why we need to be, thank you for your work, because it is solvable. And
Right.
there's no
Sure
reason
is.
for these people
Yep.
to not have access to this. So
Right.
thank you for all you're doing. One thing I want to show people there is I see the sip bottle, and that's what we want to talk about today. We're starting to
Sure.
sell this at the Fraser History
Sure.
Museum. So this is kind of a revolutionary product that you're involved in. So
Yeah.
normally we think of just a regular water bottle. Now we have a choice, right?
Yeah, and it's a lot of people ask, why does WaterStep do certain things? One of the things cool that I like about WaterStep as a nonprofit is we've chosen certain businesses to be involved in to shore up the nonprofit, then to multiply donor dollars. So WaterStep has a money-making aspect to it, as well as a donor development piece, and it blends together nicely. Many of people know WaterStep from donating shoes.
Right.
So we're very green. We keep 30,000 pounds of shoes out of the landfill and repurpose those around the world for people to wear. We make a little money. So for us, the green factor, the ecological factor that plastic has been something that it's been right in our face, especially in disasters. When we go into a disaster, there's just so much water, bottled water there that it's crazy. And the fact of the matter, there's so much bottled water that people don't realize when a disaster begins to wane, its response begins to wane, there's another disaster left, and that's the trash. And that's the plastic bottle. So that's always been in our mind. And not too long ago, last year, we were being introduced to a gentleman that's come up with a revolutionary sleeve. It's patented. It's a husk pulp sleeve that is a beautiful thing, and it actually fits over a plastic bottle, and then has a cap on it. So you have a plastic water bottle inside this, and people are like, "Well, why is that? Why is that important?" The fact of the matter is, with plastic bottles, we're not going to see the end of plastic bottles for a long time. So what are some choices that we have to bridge the gap? The reason WaterStep likes this choice is because this plastic water bottle is wrapped in this husk. The bottle's reusable as long as you want to be able to reuse that. And the water, spring water, it's good water, but when you throw it away, the developer has come up with this line, guilt-free disposability. So when you throw this away and it ends up in the landfill, the husk begins to break down and actually begins to eat that plastic. Now, we know most plastic bottles, they take hundreds of years to biodegrade. So this can biodegrade in about 5 years. So we're looking at 5 years as opposed to 500 years, or we say 5 years as opposed to 5 generations. The fact of the matter is we can use this bottle today. I can drink it, use it. And I don't know about you, but I've got the mugs, that you have that you put your coffee in or your water in, or I love iced tea, put that in there. And invariably when I go to get it, a lot of times it's in my truck and it's got coffee in it from 4 days ago and there's kind of mold on the top. So it's dirty. The great thing about this is it's just another option for me. I've got something, I can drink out of it until I don't, and I can throw it away, or I can recycle the plastic and compost the husk. Now, that's a long discussion there. I apologize for
No,
that.
but that's good.
That's
Hey,
kind of the
Mark, I'm gonna
dirty.
have you scooch into the frame a little bit more. You're
Oh,
halfway.
am I out? Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Let me get you, gotta have the
I
whole.
did my hair today. So that's
It looks
my,
fabulous. I just want to make
Thanks.
sure I get the Hallmark Hogg in the picture there. So
I
we're
love
going to
that.
start selling those bottles. Other
Mhm.
places around town. What is your
Mhm.
hope for this product? Because again, let's talk about uh, the biodegradable aspect. How long a normal bottle? How much that bottle? Reiterate that one more time.
So you're looking at 5 years as opposed to 5 generations for this to decompose and break down. And the fact of that is that we can go ahead and take care of the plastics now instead of waiting for the world, to kind of take care of that. And Rachel, you and I have talked quite a bit about this fact that we've come across about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. We did a study. I don't know, but when I drink bottled water, I'll drink it and then I'll screw the cap on to throw it away. Well, there's a little bit of water left in that.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a study, we gathered thousands of bottles together and we measured the droplets left in the water bottle. How much water is that? And so we came up with this measurement. And it's if you took the water from every plastic bottle that we throw away in the United States, it would be able to provide all the water needs for a population of 21,000 people for a year. That includes
Mm.
washing your dog, washing your car, showering, drinking, preparing food, and everything. It's a tremendous amount of water every year. Here's the problem is when I do that with a plastic bottle, I lock that water up for hundreds of years. So the earth doesn't have access to it. Now, my mama told me, Mark, God made the planet. He put all the water on there and it's still there. We have access to it today. Well, she's wrong because for decades, we've been locking up water in plastics, putting them in the ground, and we won't be able to see it for hundreds of years until those bottles biodegrade. That is why this bottle, SIP, the SIP brand bottle, is critical to this bridge for us to try to get past the use of water bottles, because we can release that water back into the earth hundreds of years before other bottles.
And I did not realize that. So that was a great educational point for me. And this product, you're going to start seeing more and more and more. And when you buy it, like here at the Fraser, part of the proceeds go back to WaterStep. So it's win-win, right? I mean, that's the whole point of this.
You're saving the environment and you're saving lives. You can't couple anything better than that.
Are you hoping that this is going to be a product that we see nationwide? I mean, I assume that's the ultimate goal.
What's fun is that the developer of the product has several brands that he uses, and he's adopted SIP water to be a brand that other people have access to. So we have sold pallets of that to other places in the United States that we're hoping to build up long-term relationships with. And he's very passionate about the brand of SIP being able to save lives and help the environment. So he's bought into it wholeheartedly and very excited about that. So it's amazing that the more we talk about it and the more we can spread this out, the more impact that we make. And I believe this is the time and a critical time for us to make decisions like this on our planet. We got to start somewhere. It's more expensive, yes, but I need to be willing to pay the price now to make a difference for my granddaughter's life.
And that's what you're hoping with consumers. Yeah, I'm going to pay a little bit more, but I know it's a good product and it's going to be a favorable impact on the earth versus the adverse that we've been doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And as far as I know, Louisville's the first city to really look at this as a group, like we're trying to do with Fraser's and other businesses and nonprofits that have water to give to people, that we're building up this momentum. I think it's a great thing for our community to consider.
Absolutely. Well, thank you as always.
It's a blessing to be with you. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. What a great time.